Blessings, friends. It's Maya here with an astro update. On October 6th, we have a full moon in the assertive, independent, and energetic sign of Aries at 14 degrees. Those of you who have planets in the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, or placements around 14 degrees in your natal chart will likely feel the effects of this full moon the most. A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other in the sky, creating a tension, peak, or culmination point. On a positive level, this lunation can be pioneering, assertive, independent, courageous, and bold. On a challenging level, this lunation can be impatient, impulsive, aggressive, short-sighted, and short-tempered. This can feel like a quieter Aries full moon for some, due to the fact that we have a Plutonian squares happening, which signify deep internal processing. We also just finished up an intense season of Aries Libra eclipse 18-month nodal cycle. You can look back to our most recent Aries new moon, which happened back in March of this year, to notice what themes might be coming up that are coming to a culmination point now. Aries energy can ask us to advocate for ourselves through leadership, individuality, courage, independence, and strength. Aries rules themes of self, identity, ego, physical body, the head, outward appearances, and new endeavors. We have the sun in his fall in Libra opposing the moon in Aries. The Aries-Libra axis represents and highlights the relationship themes. Here we can reflect on how to find the balance between a relationship with ourselves versus our relationship with others at this time. The ruler of this lunation is Mars, the planet of action and warrior-like energy. Mars is in its domicile in Scorpio, where it can naturally express itself with ease. However, we are in the midst of a Mars square Pluto energy and also a Mercury square Pluto energy. Showcasing people's emotions may be stirred up, secrets may be revealed, hidden truths can be brought to the light, and plans of strategizing on deep internal levels may be prominent. We do have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and relationships, opposing Saturn, the planet of structure, obligations, seriousness, and limitations around this time. This can mean we may come across some form of Venusian restrictions or roadblocks that require discipline and Venusian morale to overcome. Overall, with the moon in Aries, we can feel the need to guard or simply protect our emotions and innermost feelings at this time. Some may feel preparing for battle, full suited with body armor, defending against the blows of others' spears. Some may feel called to build a fortress of protection for their sacred inner life and the relationships around them that they love, cherish, and hold so dearly. Others may feel called to reflect upon their own inner work, the battles they've overcome, and feeling emotionally fulfilled from their hard-won and hard-fought efforts. Others may be called to embark on a bold new venture that requires courage and bravery, a literal or metaphorical voyage. Questions to ask ourselves during this Aries full moon. How can we reclaim our identity, independence, or boldness? How can an ego death serve us for the greater good? How can we be lovingly mindful of our words and communications at this time? How can we reframe limitations and restrictions as blessings in disguise? What's out of our control and what is truly within our personal control? How can we do our personal best right now? What relationship themes need tending to for optimum balance and equilibrium? And how can we take this time to deeply reflect on our internal world and progress? What strategies can be implemented and pioneered going forward? What area of life will this full moon in Aries be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Aries rising, this full moon is happening in your first house. This could be a culmination point or completion around yourself, personal identity, outward appearance, physical body, and new endeavors. For Taurus rising, this full moon will be happening in your 12th house. This could be culmination point or completion around the subconscious realms, hidden realms, subconscious programming, self-undoings, spirituality, the hidden arenas of life such as jails and hospitals, but also retreats, ashrams, theater, and the musical arts. For Gemini rising, this full moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be a culmination point or completion around large groups of people, friendships, networks, organizations, social media, as well as one's future hopes and wishes. For Cancer rising, this full moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be a culmination point or a completion around one's career path, public image, status, reputation, leadership, authority, achievement, and notoriety. For Leo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be a culmination point or a completion around long-distance travel, higher learning, publishing, teaching, philosophy, religion, government institutions, as well as gurus and pilgrimages. For Virgo rising, this full moon will be happening in your 8th house. This could be a culmination point or a completion around shared money, shared resources, investments, inheritances, taxes, loans, psychology, intimacy, the occult, and deep bonds. For Libra rising, this full moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be a culmination point or completion around personal relationships, business relationships, contracts, negotiations, marriages, agreements, collaborations, and legal documents. For Scorpio rising, this full moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could bring culmination points or completion around one's physical health, work, co-workers, employment, diet, exercise, daily routine, organization, as well as small pets and animals. For Sagittarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could bring a culmination point or completion around one's creativity, children, romance, joy, dating, hobbies, entertainment, celebration, and small businesses. For Capricorn rising, this full moon will be happening in your 4th house. This could be a culmination point or a completion around one's home life, family life, property, emotional security, inner safety, ancestral roots, and tradition. For Aquarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 3rd house. This could be a culmination point or a completion around how one thinks and speaks, communication styles, local community, local travel, transportation, online content, short-form learning and writing, as well as extended family and siblings. And last but not least, for Pisces rising, this full moon will be happening in your 2nd house. This could bring a culmination point or completion around one's income, how you make money, saving, earning, and spending, physical material possessions, values, food styles, as well as one's self-worth and self-esteem. Full moon in Aries, blessings to you all.